Unit 1, Section 4.1, Worked Examples. Using the table, write the given Egyptian numeral as a Hindu-Arabic numeral. And we see down below the table, we have the symbols for the Egyptian numerals above it, and we see 4 symbols for 10,000. So we're going to start out with a 40,000. We don't see any thousand symbols, so I can go ahead and write in here. I don't have anything for the thousands. And then I go down to hundreds, and I've got 4 of those, so I've got 400. And then I've got 4 tens, so that's 40. And then I've got 4 singles, which gives me 4. So the number is 40,444. Now we're going to go the other way. We're going to go from Hindu-Arabic to Egyptian. And the number is 141. So we notice that we've got a 100 first, so we're looking for a symbol here, the scroll. And if I look at my answers, the only one I see that starts with a scroll is the third one down. And let's check it and see. It's got a scroll, and then it's got 4 of this symbol here, which would give me the 40, and then a 1. So the correct answer is the third one down. All right, let's move on now to Roman numerals. So we're going to go from the Roman numeral to the Hindu-Arabic, and they've given us this Roman numeral shown here. And we look at the symbols, and we see that we've got some 100s in there. Let me go ahead and erase a little bit. A little too much there. Back to the pen. So we've got symbols for 100, and so we see 3 of those. So we know we've got 300 in the beginning, and then we see. Now remember, in Roman numerals, we have the ability to subtract, and we see a symbol for 10 before the symbol for 50, so that means we're going to be subtracting 10 from 50 to give us 40. So we're up to 3, 4, and then we see a 7. So 5 plus 2 gives us 7, so that number is 347. And now let's go ahead and take a number in Hindu-Arabic and write it as a Roman numeral. And so we see 200, so we know we need 2 C's. And then we see a 10, so we know that we need an X. And then we see a 9, and we know again we can use that subtraction criterion. We can go IX. And so there's the symbol, the number in Roman numerals would be CCXIX. All right, now let's go to Chinese. Now remember, the Chinese are written vertically, and they're actually written starting from the top down in groups of 2, and the top symbol is the number that gets multiplied by the power of 10 below it. And if we notice here, we see a symbol for 5, and it's above a symbol for 10, so we know that gives us 50, and then we have, this part here is the 50, so the 50 is going to be here, and then we have a 1, so this number is going to be, my pen cooperates with me today, which it's not, 51. Now let's go the other way. 423. So we know when we start our groupings here, we're going to have 2 groups of 2 and then a single group for the 3. So 400 is going to be the symbol for 4, which is right here, above the symbol for 100, which is right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and change colors for a second and go to the 20, which is this symbol here. And it's going to be over a 10. And then finally, let's pick a different color here. We're going to have the symbol for 3, which is right here. So I was trying to do these in slightly different colors so it might become obvious. So we notice we want to see this symbol and over top of the 100 symbol. So let's take a look and see if we see that anywhere. We see that here in B and in C. Oh, also in D. So there's a possibility. So we can get rid of choice A. It's not starting with the right symbol for the 4. Now, is it over the 100? If we notice the 100 symbol, we see that here. We don't see it here, and we don't see it here. So it looks like it's going to be answer B, but let's go ahead and check. So there's our first grouping. That gives us the 400. And then the second grouping here gives us 2 times 1 times 10 for 20, which is correct, and then the 3. So this is my correct answer for that one. And then the third set of number systems that we studied in this section is the Ionic Greek. And this one has a lot of symbols, if you remember, and the table of symbols is shown here. And we just add up the value of the symbols. And we notice here the first symbol is worth 500. And the next symbol, which is the pi, is worth, where do I see that, 80. And then we have this one here. So what do we have? We have 500 488. Oops. And then let's go the other way. Let's go from Hindu Arabic to the Ionic Greek. And so first we need a symbol for 400, which is right here. And then we need the 80. And then we need a 9. So if we look at our answers, we wanted to start out with this symbol that looks like a V. So it looks like I can eliminate the second and the fourth one. And then I needed a pi, which is actually the first choice.